of Chicago. It's the Greg Show, starring Gregory Struss. I'm Scotty Joe Vegas, inviting you to stay tuned for the next 30 minutes because we'll talk about these people who know no boundaries, baby. Cicero is such an imperfect town, but we love them anyways. Plus, Taboo Topics. And now here's the man of the hour, or at least for the next 30 minutes, Mr. Gregory Struss.
Thank you. I thought you would go long enough until I got out here. Thank you. Welcome to the Greg Show. I'm Greg Struss, the one and only. And I have to apologize because I was running into some chaos and drama before the show when the guys were telling me that I was being recalled, and I actually had to correct them because, you see, I will never be recalled because I am a fan of Total Recall. So thank you, Arnold. And I feel as though I'm as equally as much of a has-been as he is, too. But I just wanted to say thank you for that.
He gets laid.
How you doing, Scotty Joe Vegas?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm glad to be in the Elmhurst mother effing area, baby.
Absolutely, here on the west side.
Yeah.
The W, right? The W. In broadcasting, it's called a double U, all right? WLS. You don't hear W. See, when I hear W, it makes me ill because it's like people on television and radio didn't understand that broadcasting is about enunciation and double U. WLS, WGN, not W. Right here on WIND. No, it's WIND. See how it sounds?
I love W. WWD. D.
So you'll have to excuse Scotty Joe Vegas. He is out of sorts, right?
Yes.
He confused one of his poker chips for a Tostito, and we had to dial Elmhurst 911 when you started to choke.
Oh.
Not on the chip, but on our makeshift Studio 688 casino night table. Thank you. I was actually up by a toothpick until I got something stuck in my teeth. Thank you. So anyway, tonight we celebrate Cicero is such an imperfect town, but we love it anyway. What do you think?
I love Cicero. When I go by Cicero, I'm like, hey, didn't El Capone live here? And a guy named Myron?
Mm-hmm. Scott, where are you?
I'm right here. It's fine. You light up my life. You give me hope.
To carry on.
I love Cicero, Illinois. I could go by a racetrack, but it's kind of stickney. Go ahead.
Something like that. Okay. Anyway, we also tonight have a thing called, I think we're overkilling on the dissolves, but that's a whole different story.
Got my shot.
Bob is. We have Bobby Moodra. We're breaking him in on directing tonight because he's like, I'm out of sorts, Greg, but he doesn't want to admit it, and that's okay. He's like, I'm out of sorts, but this is a growing experience for all of us.
He has ice running through his veins.
Yeah, and I was telling you before, a few minutes ago before we started, I'm like, I feel like that dry drunk syndrome coming on, and you're like, yeah, you're getting kind of agitated.
I get a dry crotch once in a while, or a wet crotch.
It's not about a dry crotch. It's called the dry drunk syndrome.
Oh.
It's when people, how would you explain that? Dry drunk is like when somebody is...
It's so pissed that they're angry because they don't drink anymore.
Well, they have that same behavior of
Yes.
and where they used to turn to drinking.
Yes.
Not that I've ever had a history with doing any of that, but I just thought it was kind of a
I thought it was just
thing.
easier to masturbate.
Absolutely. So anyway, I'm Greg. This is The Greg Show, and we are reinventing community television one show at a time here from the west side of Chicago, and we'll be back in just a moment. Thank you.
Reminders. And what do we have? Please end the monologue.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to try something here. Okay, Todd, meteorites from Ludington. They're just going all over the place.
Okay, we are back here at the Greg Show. I'm Greg Struss, along with Scotty Joe Vegas.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Hello. God bless you.
We are doing a show tonight under different kinds of circumstances.
Captain Mudra in the back room.
Yeah, he stepped up to the plate, and he's
Those Somalian pirates ain't got
nothing
shite on him.
Right.
Yes.
And so we decided that we were going to do a show tonight.
We were like Mickey Rooney and what's her name, though, Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. We're going to get together and we're going to get a show. We're going to put on our. Sorry.
Yeah, and we have a contractual obligation to Chicken Hut. And so that's one of our primary sponsors. You remember Chicken Hut?
Yes.
I loved it. They have a deep batter, and we don't really know what they put in their fish sauce. But hopefully we'll be getting someone from Chicken Hut, our corporate sponsor here at The Great Show.
The first word I've ever learned how to spell was chicken.
Okay. All right. I said something. We're talking about apologies, right? Because that's a big thing right now. And I'm going to bore you once again. There was a major media person that just came back
And who would this be?
From a suspension, okay? He hasn't come back yet. All right, but this is a big deal because I think this relates to a lot of things and personal accountability, especially in the media. For some reason, when people are on television and radio, they are held to a higher standard than politicians. Are you with me on this?
It's like, oh, don't hit me, Dad.
Do you want to come into the shot? Okay.
Coming over.
Nope, you're fixed. Okay.
Whoa.
So anyway, we've been talking over the last couple shows about Brian Williams of NBC News. And earlier this year, he was talking about stories that didn't happen. Now, he was involved in the story, but a journalist, so-called serious journalist, deals with, ethics. They deal with, honesty, integrity. And it's about being subjective rather than being, is that correct? Being subjective instead of objective?
That's right, sir. That is correct.
I believe that's it.
That's
if I'm not, I'm sure all of you will be letting me know because we are in an imperfect world and I'm certainly imperfect myself. So is Cicero, but we'll talk about that later. So anyway, Brian Williams goes on the Today Show. And he's talking with Matt Lauer, which I thought was really interesting because it goes to show about the corporate interest.
The honkies stick together.
Well, it's funny. He went and did his coup de grace, as they say, on an NBC network show instead of going over on another network where they would have grilled him a little more serious. So we see like this public relations apparatus at work because what exactly is Brian Williams supposed to say? What is he supposed to say?
I'm sorry. I was under meds, and I disgraced NBC as well as myself, and please take me back because I want some cash.
But he didn't do that. What he did was admitted that his ego got the best of him, which I think that can happen to a man, right?
Happens to me every day.
Right. Our ego gets the best of us.
Yep.
However, when I'm wrong, what do I have to do?
Fess up.
And how do I do that?
Sharing it with other people.
Okay. Do I share it with the millions of people that I allegedly lied to? Do I say, now, if somebody says, I didn't tell the truth, is that enough instead of saying I lied? I didn't tell the truth about everything.
I would say that I didn't tell the truth would probably be more 15 years ago, and now you can kind of just say, I didn't really. What the hell are my choices again?
Okay. I didn't tell the truth. Is that the same as saying that I lied?
I lied as 15 years ago. I didn't tell the truth as now.
Okay.
Yeah.
But for some reason, people are not satisfied with this and still calling him Lying Brian. Now, I don't know what else he has to do. He wasn't, people felt that he wasn't contrite, meaning he wasn't fully honest in his apology, and that it created more holes in his story than fessing up and saying, look, people, I lied, and da-da-da-da-da. Now, I don't know. I mean, when you're in a major media situation like that, and you have America's trust, but let's face it, 9 million people watch this guy, okay? 9 million, that's a pretty good audience. But is it all of America? How many Americans don't know who Brian Williams is?
Probably a lot.
Yeah.
When you're the ringmaster and you screw up, you're going to take the most heat. Not the trapeze guy, not the clown. He's the head guy. This is a part of our culture.
Right.
And he's a white male. He's on the outs. He had a good run for 200 years.
Okay. So he ended up coming back to NBC starting in August, and he went to MSNBC. All right. So now he's still part of the NBC News brand, but he's no longer the managing editor and the anchor of the NBC Nightly
The only
News.
time I watch MSNBC is when the gals are up there on their for their financial report, so they cross their legs, and I'm watching that. Outside of that, they're bringing them in. They're bringing them in low heat, and then they'll graduate them and graduate them and graduate them. You want me to come over? Hey,
Yeah.
I'm leaning over. How you doing?
No, you want to go the other
Okay,
way.
how you
There
doing?
you go.
Hi, how's it going? Good to see you.
Do you like the dark Charlie Rose look in the back? I think it's like a little dark for us tonight.
It's like your past is gone.
Yeah.
There is no future.
But anyway, the next thing that comes up about this apologizing and then owning up to, you know what, I effed up.
I don't even know what the name of that show is. I'm sorry.
What?
The one with the girls on it with their legs.
It's
Sorry.
probably on CNBC. All right, would you please?
I'm sorry.
There you go. We don't have. You got to step up. You're like too low.
Don't whip me, Daddy. Daddy, don't whip me. Nothing like an abusive talk show host.
It's an abusive attack. Would you please talk? Talk to me. All right, tell me what's going on. So was he fully accountable for his actions? All right, like over a course of 13 years, and we always talk about gender being an issue too. Mm-hmm. There was a woman that took a fall. There was a woman who was in charge of. She was the president of NBC News, I believe, the president, just under the corporation of Comcast. And for the life of me, she's I don't know if she's Asian or not, but she took the fall. She got reassigned, and they brought back another white male to spearhead this whole damage control over at NBC News.
Connie Chung?
No, it was Patricia Fushi something. And
sounds great.
yeah, so she kind of took the fall. All right, but Brian Williams came back. He's going to be on MSNBC. He's going to be doing breaking news. And the other part of this that was also intriguing for me was that Lester Holt. Now, Lester came from Chicago. He used to be on CBS 2.
I saw him at the ATM one day. Go ahead.
And from what I understand, he's just a stand-up guy, real nice guy. And his son Stefan Holt does the morning news. He's the anchor on NBC5 in the morning.
I saw him the night when we went up to the NBC Tower.
Lester Holt or his son?
Lester Holt. At the ATM.
When was that?
Well, we were at the NBC Tower. We had our meeting up there.
Do you remember those days?
Yes, I do.
We'll have to talk about that.
Sorry.
So Lester Holt now becomes he's now the anchor of the NBC Nightly News, and now they make the big deal. He's the first African American. Does this stuff really matter today? Does it matter? Now, some people will be saying that this is that's being racist or whatever. But why does it matter?
By bringing up color, it is racist.
Yeah, he's the first African. So he says it has nothing to do with me being an African American. It has everything to do with me being a journalist. I think he's got the.
There was no journalists way back in like the 1800s that kind of got in there in England.
But like when Katie Couric became the first female anchor of the evening news, that was a big deal in 2005, okay? Or 2006, whenever that happened.
Didn't watch her.
Neither did most of America.
I'm sorry, I just,
So it was a big deal, but it's like gender and now race. Like Lester Holt will become the first solo African-American anchor of the evening news. Okay, good. Just read me the news. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what gender you are. Are you good at what you do?
Me personally?
Yeah.
I'm horseshit.
But does that make sense, or am I just being an idiot here?
No.
Now, if you really want to say, okay, so Caitlyn Jenner becomes the first transgender reporter. Now that would be something, wouldn't it? Okay.
They're gonna let him put out the old man on the street for. Is he gonna commentate again?
Brian?
No, the Mrs. Jenner.
That's Ms. Jenner.
Ms.
Okay.
Jenner, I'm sorry.
I don't know what's going to happen. I'm sure she'll resurface in some kind of role that will attract viewers. And that's really, sensational. But when I don't know, where I'm at with all of this is it's like, it's very difficult for people to say, I'm sorry, and that I was wrong.
Fonzie couldn't say it.
And when I was more codependent and earlier in my life, I would admit it all the time. And I'm finding that as I'm getting older, it's harder for me to say, you know what, I was wrong. I'll admit it. It's harder for me to do it, but I'll still do it.
With Jesus, I have to say it every day because I am wrong every day. Sorry. I may be leading a man who has a beard, but...
Anyway, on that note, did we give closure for this topic?
I hope so.
Okay. So what it boils down to, in ending, on this topic of Brian Williams, is that honesty is the best policy, and wording things and being accountable. I'm sorry, I lied, or I didn't tell the entire truth. I apologize for it. I'm going to do a better job. And if I don't, I'm out on my ass. I mean, that's just basically what it is, I think.
It's a dog world we live in. Sometimes you get peed on, and sometimes you don't.
Because you know what? A man who's humble will attract more viewers because it's like there's a certain amount of integrity in that, and feeling, and remorse.
I'm making eye contact. You just don't see me.
Okay. I know you're thinking. Anyway, we will be back to talk about how Cicero is a imperfect town, but we still love it. We're also going to talk about people with no boundaries. I like that because Bruce Jenner kind of fits into that.
There's a boundary right there.
And some other stuff, Taboo Topics, when the Greg Show continues right after this.
Greg, is it true that you are related to Bobby Knight? A curious viewer, John Rhodes.
No, I'm not related to Bobby Knight!
God! Get that out of the way. I feel great now.
Have you seen his show?
Well, no, but I can't let Dan know that. I told him I loved his work, and so the reality of it is that this guy really is a pinhead, and, well, what should I do? I'll tell him we ran out of time and say we have to break for a commercial.
Someday you'll have some intellectual content on your show.
Talk about
I want to talk about the third airport.
We were going to talk
For tickets and other information regarding this program, Rise of the Greg Show 1990. P.O. Box 697, Dalton, Illinois, 60419. We'd love to hear from you. And now back to you, Greg. Want to come on the show?
Let you go of the week, ladies and gentlemen. I will listen to every word you say.
Do you ever feel that you'll outgrow this? I mean,
Look at me, I'm sitting here in a Star Trek uniform.
Yeah,
You
I know
got the nerve to ask me that?
Something wrong with that uniform.
You've never seen Star
No,
Trek?
I'm not even aware.
What's wrong with you?
Still love the original better. And this one just doesn't kick it.
it doesn't suit you.
Grandson likes it, though.
You're a grandfather already?
Yes.
You're pretty young. Okay. Chris Larman, come out and take a bow. Our cue card holder of the week, ladies and gentlemen.
Hoosiers here, too.
You're a Hoosier now? How you doing, Chris?
How you doing? Hey, how you doing, Mr. Struss?
I'm doing fine. What do you got, the Wolfman Jack look now?
He's in the lottery. It's called Who's Your Father?
Now my mind goes blank. Dennis, don't we listen to them all the time? Two. Abandoned in Hammond. And probably Abandoning the Show. It would be a good song.
Coming up, we are going to take a look I don't know why I keep looking off to the side here. It's that ruggedly handsome look.
That's the best joke you had all night.
I know, something like that. If you ever think that you want to redo something in your life, the first 5 minutes of this show would be one of them, and most of my 30s. But the rest is history, as they say.
It's history, Alice.
So what's going on with you and the family? Now, I was like floored by this, that Scott's Mama Joe Vegas, I guess, who has not, I haven't seen her in a while. And she went to a car dealership?
Yes.
Okay. And you said that someone, go ahead, tell this story. And this is a true story.
One of our customers that are up in Wisconsin, his brother works in a car dealership in Countryside. It is a Japanese brand car, just to let you know.
Which is probably made in America, but
Yes,
go ahead.
and he works in the back, the financing department. And my mother was buying a car.
She bought a new car?
Something like that, with my sister. And the guy says, "Oh, you have a business in Moseley?" Well, and then they talked about, we sell trailer parts.
Yeah.
They sell trailer parts, and they put two and two together, and they figured out that my golfing buddy is his brother, and they know Scotty Joe Vegas up there, and he was in Countryside, so they go in there, and my mother was like, "He does what?" His name is Tom, and he's a long, long friend and a great customer and a decent man.
So he told your mom that he watches
His brother.
His brother watches the show.
Well, Tom pushed him on it at Christmas time, and Tom said before, he says, "Oh, but my family wasn't that impressed with the show." And then he showed my mother, and he kind of BS'd her to get the extra coin on the old you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Is it a kind of car that you drive right now? Is
Yes.
it that brand?
Yes.
Okay. Is she going to be getting you one?
No. Mine's got 243,000 on it.
And what year is this car?
08.
Wow. My Volvo, I have an 86 Volvo 240 wagon, and it has 301,000 miles on it.
Good
And
Lord.
probably one of the best cars I have ever owned. I would get another one in a minute. So I was rolling, right? Tell the story. I was rolling. I was laughing. I said, I don't believe you for 1 second. And I did tell you that. I said, I really don't think I believe you that somebody was watching the show,
Yes.
let alone
He
that
showed
it-
my mother all the episodes. Oh, if you want to see all what your son's doing, it's on the phone right here, and I'll do this and that. And yes.
And do you want the extra warranty?
That's what my sisters text me back. Do you know this guy? And okay.
So she was talking to you. That was good.
She texted. She
Okay.
stayed by my ex-wife's house in a hotel, the country, and halfway in between somebody that doesn't want to be contacted and halfway among my ex-wife and didn't call me. But it's okay.
Why do you think that is?
They're up to something. She got me an Elvis poster.
Was it Velvet?
No, it was a '68 comeback special.
I love that. That was a great show.
That was
done
did that in the Price is Right studio.
I don't.
Yes,
It was
'cause
done.
I was there with Richard Stadinsky, my coworker, and we went and seen Drew Carey with The Price is Right. This is where the '68 comeback special was filmed in Burbank, right there.
Because
They reversed the studio around.
I know it originally aired on NBC. So they shot it. They may have shot it at CBS, but I thought it was done at one of those studios in Burbank.
Got bought and bought back because like NBC owned it one time, CBS owns it now. So that's how long ago it was. That the Honeymooners were shot there at one time.
Television City, I thought.
Yes.
Okay.
You saying I'm full of shit?
No.
Nope.
So,
I am.
so I moved recently into my own place, and I have not invited any of my family over. Is that weird? Difficult?
Didn't say that. What I was saying is the bosom will come out and you will drink milk and you will be plenished.
So I was really worried that my shepherd, Uma, was going to have a tough time adjusting to being alone a lot. And she loves it. So we got a yard, we got a garage, got a
neighbor?
Got a neighbor.
How is she up there?
I cannot believe what people call a landlord for. I'm like to the point of where if a door doesn't look nice, I'll paint it white. myself. Instead of calling the landlord and saying, now I'll ask permission, do you mind if I paint this pink door white?
Okay.
So for 2 months in a row, okay, and I have been religious the last several months, I send my rent check out before the first of the month.
Praise God.
Yeah. So on 2 months in a row, I'm getting a call. It's the 11th of the month and we haven't received your check.
Okay.
And I'm like, I fly out of bed, go on the computer, and go online and take a look, and I'm like, yeah, this isn't right. Oh, okay, it was someone else. And then the next month, again. So I go to cook, getting ready to cook and do something because I haven't had my own place in like a long time. I've lived with people. And so I go to cook, and the stove isn't connected. Now, this is a month after I moved in, and they just came and hooked up my stove.
Praise God. You want me? Okay, damn them.
No.
Okay.
But is that a big issue?
Usually a person that has been around would probably go through the apartment and check everything that made it sure it worked.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess there's inspectors there that aren't doing their job, so, somebody must have...
But would you pick up the phone and throw a fit to the woman or the person that's answering that has nothing to do with it and blame them?
First thing I would say is, can you come over and cook for me? And then she'd be like, hell no.
You gotta sit up.
Hey, I'm sorry. Like, whoa! I'm like, don't leave. Like, hey,
You gotta like there.
All right.
We're free forming it, kids. So I don't know. I don't know.
Now, I'm a manager of a mobile home park.
Mm-hmm.
So people, they used to come to me, and I'd have sincerity, and I'd try to do their problems, but sometimes people aren't satisfied. Or you say, why are you always short with me? Well, because you're a pain in the ass. Because you look for my weakness, and then you dig into it, and then all of a sudden I'm nice to you as a person, and then you dig in there. So it's kind of like, it's trailer court politics 101. You sit on the ground, you don't go on the steps,
So is it one of those things like, well, you didn't hook up the gas, and it's like, okay, and by the way, your mother thinks you suck. That kind of thing.
I'm going to write a letter to your mother because, I didn't like the way I told one lady, I said, you have the power of the pen. If you got a problem with something, write a letter. And all of a sudden she says, you're snotty, and I'm going to write a letter to my mother on Thanksgiving. Why did this person give us a letter that says that the snow plow is incorrect and this and that? Quit eating bonbons. Get off your ass.
Do they say quit going to Vegas? Spend some time in the park. There is a Vegas night up there, right? That's where you go, Vegas night.
Sure.
In Mosinee, Wisconsin.
Absolutely. I go to the First Presbyterian, Evangelical, Catholic, Lutheran Mosque Emporium.
But isn't like gambling a sin?
It is.
And yet the church promotes it because it's a financial thing. How do we get to pick what's sinning and what's not sinning?
Probably casual gambling isn't a sin. Like, Pete Rose and all of his struggles. That man's sick. But he belongs to the Hall of Fame. Not as a manager, just as a player.
All right.
I'm going to meet him one day and ask him how he get a Korean woman with big boobs for a wife.
All right. Anyway,
Sorry, I love Korean.
on that note,